Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another podcast, another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on my YouTube page. It's actually been popping off lately, which is pretty cool. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify at the Fitness Journey Pod. And I post podcasts every single week about fitness, nutrition, your mindset. So if you're someone trying to tap into their health, that's exactly what we do on these podcasts, but I also post them on my YouTube, so just make sure to subscribe. In today's episode, we are surrounded by our new patio furniture that my brother got, which is super cheap, and an empty can of Kokanee with cigarettes inside. But today we're talking about why you're not building muscle, and yes, I have some notes, of course. Why you're not building muscle, even though you're training 4 to 5 times a week. I like to pick apart some things when it comes to like enhancing your body in terms of like improving your body and your body composition and stuff like that, because what I come across a lot of the time with a lot of people is they have these awesome goals, right? And they might casually work out, or they might not. They might not even be into fitness, working out, or anything like that. And when they do go about it, they don't focus on the right things to actually get them the result that they want. And so I like to pick things apart to help you have things to focus on while you're training to make sure that you're good. Because for me, I'm a pro natural bodybuilder. I've competed 5 times. I'm done competing in bodybuilding now, not my thing. I'm more about the lifestyle now. I have the physique that I want. I can eat, in the way that I like to. I like to eat healthy, but I still enjoy myself. Had tacos and like 7 cookies 2 nights ago with my girlfriend because we just wanted to, and I'm still good with that. So it's like, how can you, and I'm not just saying that to float my own boat, but how can you go about your life in a way where you can enjoy it and also get the best bang for buck out of working out to be healthy? You know what I mean? And building muscle is one of those things that helps me live the life that I want. Having this muscle on me, honestly, one of the best fucking things ever. It helps. It helps to look good, feel good, can wear the clothes I want, look good with my shirt off, feels good going out. I don't have confidence issues. Like, I feel like I'm a good looking lad. You know what I mean? Like, it helps. Whether you're a guy or a girl, it helps to be at least a little bit fit. You know what I mean? And not saying that you can't be happy even if you're not. So even if you're not in that category, doesn't matter, because you can be happy without all the muscles or anything like that. And I also think about it from that point of view. But I mean, even if it doesn't matter who you are. If you're someone who's training and you're trying to be healthier, you're trying to live a better life, it helps to know partially what the right things to do are. So then that way you don't waste your time. And I find that a lot of people work out, but they don't work out hard enough with the time that they have, or they do too much. And I've always said this, but like, your training matters more than your eating, because so many people over focus on their eating to the point where they're strict and they go all in and they don't even enjoy their life. But what if you flip the script and you train really, really hard and get really, really good at it, to the point where it's kind of like you're outworking your diet, to the point where you can kind of enjoy more of your life because you're actually more active. Like, a lot of people get unhealthy because as they grow up and get older, they become a lot more sedentary. They're not as active. A lot of people blame it on metabolism, but in reality, it's just because they're less active and their eating has stayed relatively the same, or they're eating a little bit more. Most people know this, but some people don't. And so when you take a look at working out and lifting weights, it's something that strengthens the body, your joints. When you build more muscle mass, it helps you burn more calories at rest. And overall, it helps you live a healthier life and a longer life and a better life versus not. So I like to actually shift the focus more on training when it comes to being healthier, because if you're pushing yourself in the gym and you're getting better, if you take away the perspective on like weight loss even if you're semi-consistent with your nutrition 30 to 40 to 50% of the time, and the other percent you're just kind of enjoying yourself, even if you were just to work out and you worked out really well and you got really good at it, man, that would change so much for a lot of people, because most people are really sedentary in their jobs. They work an office job, or maybe some people are really on their feet. But what I come across, and I'm just talking in the perspective of a coach who works with a lot of people and who has talked to a lot of people and who has seen a lot of people work out. Like, a lot of my clients send me form videos and I can see how they train, especially like a lot of new clients. And so something that I notice a lot is that they're just, they're not really that good at training, which is okay, because everybody can get good at it. And so coming from someone who knows what it takes to become a pro natural bodybuilder to someone who has competed in powerlifting once, I'm not, saying that as anything crazy, who has competed in a marathon once, not anything crazy, but who has tried a couple different things, but who has really taken health and fitness very seriously over the years and knows what it takes to like build the body, you know what I mean? And also what it takes to not and like regress the body. There's a nice balance in the middle that you can find, where it's nothing too crazy, where you can really enjoy your workouts and really progress and also enjoy your life. But when it comes to doing that, you got to make sure that you're doing the right things to actually accomplish that. And when it comes to training, you got to make sure that you're training hard enough and frequently enough and not going about it super randomly. What I find a lot of the time, especially in this day and age, a lot of people go to Pilates, they do a bunch of different classes, boxing classes, and they want to get fitter. And I think all of that is great. But we'll kind of put this in a couple different perspectives. If you're someone who wants to have a little bit of a better body composition, I suggest throwing in some of your own weight training, because that will truly help you change your body a little bit faster, and it'll just benefit your body overall. You can get fitter by doing extra activities like boxing or swimming or stuff like that, but working the muscle, there's no better way to do it than lifting weights. It benefits you so much in the long run. And man, I've talked to this with so many people who, I talked to this lady at the gym last week, and she was like, I started my fitness journey like 4 years ago. I was overweight and not happy, and I picked up weights during COVID, and I completely transformed my body. I used to be obese, now I'm not. And I was like, God damn, she's like 66. And when I look at a lot of older individuals who are fit, healthy, but also enjoy their life, they lift weights. They're more or less into the bodybuilding style of training, right? But I've also seen a lot of people who are super fit, who do calisthenics and boxing and, a bunch of different things and this and that. But I think if you're, trying to put it in perspective, like even my brother, for example, he used to be overweight. Now he's not. He works out, but he lives a super balanced life. Like, he's not super strict with eating. He eats really healthy. He focuses more on hunger cues, but he still enjoys himself. He goes out and drinks, once, a couple times a week, smokes cigarettes here and there. Like, it's just casual. And I'm like, it's so crazy to see, what it takes to make it a little bit more motivating versus not. And most people overdo it to get to where they want really quick, which decreases the motivation. You have to think about this as a lifestyle instead of such a short time, timely thing. And there's so many different ways to go about it. So if you're trying to get the most bang for buck when it comes to building muscle, weight training is it. It'll benefit you more in the long run. And in order to accomplish that, it's kind of common knowledge, you got to train at least bare minimum 2 full body workouts a week, weight training, basic movements, or 3 full body workouts a week, or 4 workouts a week of upper, lower, upper, lower. You know what I mean? And you just have to make sure that you're hitting each muscle group at least twice a week, unless there's some muscle groups that maybe you don't want to hit. Like for women, for example, usually that's more so like chest, shoulders, and stuff like that. Maybe you don't want to grow those too much. It's fine. I'm not saying that you'll grow them massively, but they might just become a lot more toned. And then it's just about being consistent with it once you have your training plan set in place. Then what I would suggest, if you're trying to build muscle, to feel better, to, maybe you have body composition results, whatever it is, or like maybe you have body composition wants and needs, and like that's cool. But even if you don't, if you're just trying to improve your health without just over consuming your life of fitness, that's the bare minimum for training per week. And just to break it down a little bit more, in each of your workouts, have one compound lift and then some other accessories, but just make sure that in each workout you maybe have like 5, 6, maybe 7 exercises per workout. I'm not going to fully explain how to structure workouts, but in general, that's kind of the structure that you should have. And then it's just about getting better at it, getting stronger with it. And that alone will help you improve your strength and build muscle. But some people who cycle back and forth, which I also come across a lot, they start and stop. And for them, what happens is they just overdo it. They go all in, crush 6 workouts a week, 7 workouts a week, think it's going to change their life and their body, but it doesn't. And it also makes them really unhappy because they don't get the results that they want, and it's not a lifestyle. So I'm just saying, from someone who has a bunch of different examples of working with clients and also family and whatever it may be, someone who's been through it himself, it is much better to find a way to make it long-lasting and more of a lifestyle versus something that's super, you know what I mean? And it doesn't need to be crazy. So, I mean, apart from that, if you're working out that much, maybe you do some extra activities outside of it, boom, lifestyle enhanced, you feel a lot better, you're getting out, you're seeing people, maybe you're doing like some classes, whatever it is, that's great. Then the nutrition side, we kind of already touched on it. I touch on a lot of that in my other content, but you don't need to be crazy with it. Every day, get in at least 0.5 to 0.8 grams of protein per pound body weight. That's it. Maybe 1 gram per pound if you're a little bit more on like the skinnier side and you want to bulk up a bit. And then fill in your carbs with some other things. Fill in your fats with normal food. Squeeze in some good eats here and there. And then you'll be good. It's just, so many people overcomplicate this kind of stuff. And, it does really depend on the goal if you wanted to really get into it. Because if you wanted to bulk up, of course, there's going to be some other things that you can nitpick and add in and stuff like that. Of course, if you're trying to cut a little bit faster and you have a date for that, of course, you can do things a little bit differently to kind of quicken that up. But for a lot of people who are just trying to go out at it in like more of a healthy and motivating way that feels good without the stress of a due date or like anything like that, you just got to lock in the basics and be consistent with it, and then the rest will follow. I mean, I do suggest kind of having a timeline on like how long it's going to take, but not to the point where it stresses you out. So essentially, if you're trying to build muscle and enjoy your life, I mean, those are the main things that you got to do. It's really not that complicated, and it makes it a lot like more enjoyable, more of a lifestyle. That's something that I stepped away from for a while when I was competing in bodybuilding and everything, because it's so strict, and you know what I mean, and it's just it's a lot, and it's just not what I recommend to do in terms of like living a happier life. So that's it, guys. That's really all I have for you today. Just wanted to talk about like the basics of building muscle, doing it more in a sustainable way, a happier way, and kind of how I go about it, and some examples that I've seen with other people how they go about it to still live a healthier life, but without being extreme. And that's how I like to approach things. Like, how can I enjoy the most out of my life, which involves food. It involves good food, time with people, energy. I can't be drained because I'm not eating enough calories throughout the day. Like, I got to go enjoy life and also work really hard. So how can I encompass my life around that while still getting the most out of my fitness, you know what I mean, without overdoing it? And if you're someone who's questioning what to do or how to approach it or whatever it may be, I suggest kind of just thinking about like what interests you, what you want to accomplish, how you want to feel, how you want to look when you're older, or just how healthy you want to be, and then fitting those things in your life. Like, if you're someone who doesn't really care too much about weights, that's fine. Add in some different types of activities: swimming, biking, running. Great activity. Obviously, you're not going to build muscle really at all. Boxing, not going to really build too much muscle. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And like, you don't have to, right? But they're definitely different there are different ways to stay active and fit other than just weightlifting. And if you're more a little bit about like the body composition, a little bit more about performance and feeling good, weightlifting is a great thing to add in to make sure that you can make that happen. And you can also add in a little bit of a mix. At least now you know what it takes to, build muscle and strength to kind of build your physique a little bit more, the bare minimums, if that makes sense. And then you can add in the extra things if you want, or you could not. It's completely up to you, but it's just my take on the benefits behind, building muscle, feeling a little bit better, moving a little bit better, and so on and so forth. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not into anything else. Like, I'm not into running, I'm not into biking or swimming or boxing or anything like that. Like, weightlifting is my thing. I love bodybuilding. It's just the way that I like to stay healthy and fit, and I know a lot of people are like that, but I also know a lot of people are not like that, but they also want to work on their body composition, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't really have any more advice other than like going about weight training. Like, if you're really trying to build your physique, of course, you have to make sure you're training enough, getting enough recovery, and not overdoing it. Those are the main things to focus on. All right. If you got any questions, make sure to reach out to me on Nick Wild Aesthetics on IG. Always open to any questions if you have any. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, comment, whatever it may be. If this helped you or gave you some perspective about your fitness and how to go about it, you know what I mean? I'm kind of just tired about like talking about the same things over and over again when it comes to fitness, like how to build muscle, how to lose fat, this, that. It kind of gets really boring and repetitive. So in this one, I just wanted to kind of free flow and see how things go. So if you want more videos like this, just let me know, because I haven't done this kind of style for a while. I've been kind of just like reading my notes and going off those things. So, and how I talked about training, and this is kind of how I go about it now. It's not as strict. It's more for life and enjoyment and staying healthy, feeling good. And that's what I think fitness should be about. Because when you focus too much on other things, it becomes a lot less fun and more obsessive. And I know a lot of people preach about doing it that way, but it honestly doesn't feel good. And you really don't live the life that you want to live. It starts to become draining, boring, and it's shitty. So don't be afraid to dip your toes into some other avenues when it comes to fitness and not just lifting weights. It's fun, and you kind of find your way when it comes to your health and taking care of yourself. For me, weights is always going to be a part of my life. Running is no bueno for me anymore. I'm not a fan. I am a fan, but I'm not. Powerlifting, I'm a fan, but I'm not. And I like to enjoy my life. I'm more about just feeling good, being strong, being functional, being healthy. I get that out of weightlifting. That's it. And I like to enjoy my life outside of that. So let me know where you're at in your fitness journey. Just comment below, share it with me, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Much love and peace out.